Chapter 30. Jen. When quiz night finally arrives, I'm wearing my hat with oversized elf ears and a red elf dress, which would be rather raunchy if I wasn't wearing it over a pair of jeans. My Christmas bauble earrings flash with surprising vigour, considering the batteries in them are a few years old. The plan is for Michael to come over for some food before we leave, but he doesn't turn up until past 6. Sorry, he says wearily. David asked me to help with some data he's got to submit by tomorrow. Why can't he ask Jeff, or someone else who's actually on the senior team? I ask. I hope he's not making you do all the work and then taking the credit for it. My dad's made cauliflower cheese, and I dish Michael up a bowlful, batting away memories of his mother's cordon bleu. He eats ravenously. This is really good, he says. I pour him a glass of water and silently celebrate this victory for humble normality. I haven't had time to change. He looks down at his suit. Why don't you borrow one of my dad's Christmas jumpers? I suggest. Sure. He looks pained at the thought. I run upstairs and root around in the wardrobe. There's a tame option, similar to the one Michael wore to school, and then a more outlandish Rudolph option with a light-up nose. Bingo. I hand it to Michael, along with the Santa hat. But, he begins to protest. You said no elf hats. You said nothing about Santa hats. Plus we get extra points if you wear it. He pulls the jumper over his shirt and tries the hat on in front of the mirror. I look ridiculous. A bit of humiliation never hurt anyone. Michael insists on driving, even though he's never been to this pub before, and I could have taken my dad's car. He seems to carry an atmosphere of stress, perhaps left over from school, but simple things like changing lane or a roundabout seem to be ramping up his sense of annoyance. Unbelievable. They really should signpost that exit more clearly. I press the heating controls to make the car warmer, and he flicks it off with a huff. It's boiling in here. I begin to wonder if this was a good idea. I've always known that Michael is an uptight kind of person. He doesn't relax or chill out very easily. I guess my hope is that I help him to smile a bit more and find a life outside of school. But now I'm worried that I'm adding an unidentified package to the fun-loving, well-established quiz team, and it might just be a bomb about to explode. After reversing into a tight space, checking his mirrors a million times and complaining loudly about the car park dimensions, Michael slams the car door with more force than necessary. I walk round to his side and take both his hands in mine. Michael, I speak firmly, we are going here to have fun. You need to calm down. Take some deep breaths or something. I'm fine, he says. See, men do that too, saying they're fine when they're patently not. I readjust the pom-pom on the end of his Santa hat and trace my finger down the side of his face. I love you. Really? He breathes out. I thought you were still mad at me. I'm not, I say, although it's true I have been annoyed at him since the trip. Let's just put things behind us and enjoy tonight, yeah? Hey, Jen! Sean appears in the pub doorway, beckoning frantically. It's about to start! I hurry to follow him inside, Michael a few paces behind me. The pub is hot and packed with loads more people than last week. Everyone has turned out in force, with a colourful variety of hats too. Michael and I have to squish onto a narrow chair, awkwardly placed at the corner of the table, and barely have time to perch before the round begins. Who is generally recognised as writing the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas"? Sean shrugs and looks at me. Michael gestures for the pen and writes down neatly, Clement Moore. I give a thumbs up. The questions rattle on, but the atmosphere is louder and rowdier than before. In the first break, Sean heads to the bar and returns with a tray of shots. What is this, happy hour? I laugh. Aren't you driving? Michael asks suspiciously. Nah, we're sharing a taxi back, Sean says, giving everyone a shot. Michael pushes his back onto the tray. What is it? I ask. I'm not really the drinking type. It's a snowball, Sean says. You'll love it. Brandy, peppermint schnapps and cacao. Michael sniffs disapprovingly. Come on, Jen, Steph prods me. Live a little. All right. 3, 2, 1, Sean counts down. Jason seems unperturbed, but Steph and I make faces at each other as our throats burn. Whoever gets the next question wrong has to drink the spare, Sean challenges. What if it's Michael? Steph says, giggling. I'm sure we'll think of something, Sean says with a glint in his eye. What is the name of the last ghost to visit Scrooge in A Christmas Carol? Christmas Future, Sean says. It's actually the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, Michael corrects him. Same difference. You won't get the point, Michael says in frustration. I think it's time for another round. Sean starts to get up, but Jason says, I'll get this one. What is the best-selling Christmas song ever? White Christmas, Sean says immediately. I think it's Mariah Carey, Michael says, then looks to me. What do you think? I really don't know, I shrug. Steph? I feel like I hear Mariah Carey a lot more on the radio and in shops than the other one, Steph says. Yes, but White Christmas has been around way longer, so it's made more total sales. That makes sense, Steph concedes. OK, put it down. When the answers are revealed, it is White Christmas, and Sean jubilantly shouts, Yes! I knew it! You're having a forfeit now. Michael scowls and turns to his phone while Sean heads off to the bar again. Here we go, Steph mutters to me, knocking back the rest of her gin and tonic. I'm sipping lemonade, having realised that juice is a bad idea with Michael's allergy, although it's unlikely to cause a reaction unless it makes contact with his skin. He holds his phone up to me triumphantly. Look, I was right, he says. All I want for Christmas is the Christmas single with the most digital downloads. I don't think Sean's going to care. I wish he would let it go. Can't he just be wrong for once? The overly competitive vibe from Michael and Sean snapping at each other's heels has made tonight way more stressful than it should have been. It's also uncomfortably hot and crowded, and the open fire is making it more sweltering. There's a line of sweat on my forehead under my elf hat. Time for your forfeit. Sean is back, holding a glass with a milky liquid. Michael wrinkles his nose. What is it? Eggnog, non-alcoholic, Sean adds, setting it down with a flourish. I found evidence that I was actually right. Drink it, Sean chants, slapping his hand against the table. Michael looks to me for a way out. It's not going to kill you, I say, feeling irritable. Something shifts in Michael's eyes, and he grabs the glass and downs it. Too late, something clicks with what I've just said. Your allergy, I shout, springing to my feet as he places the empty glass down on the table. Sean, is there citrus in it? What? Sean looks confused. It's milk? Egg? I catch sight of the blackboard with Christmas drinks listed on it, and in slow motion see the words orange zest. I look at Michael, who is wiping his mouth with disgust. Where's your EpiPen? I yell. He goes to search his jacket pocket, then remembers he's wearing my dad's Christmas jumper. He shakes his head. It must be in the car. Quickly! I grab his arm and drag him out into the car park. He's still holding a hand over his mouth. He fumbles in his pocket, hands me the keys, then turns and vomits. Terrified, I unlock the car and throw open the back door, finding his jacket and turning it over, nearly tearing it with trying to access the pocket. When my fingers close over the EpiPen, I draw it out and rip the cap off with too much force so it skitters over the concrete. Holding it in my fist and grateful for the video tutorials I watched obsessively after the London incident, I push it into his thigh and hold it for 10 seconds while he coughs and splutters. Please God, I find myself praying, paralysed with fear. Is he all right? Sean, Steph and Jason come running out. I'll call an ambulance, Jason says, pulling out his phone. I'll go and see if anyone can help. Steph rushes back into the pub. I'm so sorry, Sean moans. I didn't know. Michael, say something, I cry. He pulls the Santa hat off his head and tosses it to one side. Never again, he answers.